For missing the target from there, you want bloody shooting. Oh, it's crap. Oh, it's bloody rubbish. It's rubbish.
But how do you react though when someone, you know, from your playing staff comes in and says, "Boss, I think you're doing this wrongly"?
Good. Well, I ask him which way he thinks it should be done. We get down to it, and then we talk about it for 20 minutes, and then we decide I was right.
You Reds indeed. How's everybody doing? How's everyone doing in the chat? Jez is supposed to be here, but I don't know what's going on there. I haven't got Instagram on at the moment. But Fuzz, if you want to jump on, because it was going to have to be a jump on, jump off anyway. You know, a bit like sex, I suppose. But, you know, it's how it goes. Right.
Sex for Yetis. You jump on, you jump off. It's like a Japanese meal. It comes in quarters.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
My wife's calling me. I'll be right back.
He's going for the main
I get my nooner in.
Right, okay. So, got Dal, got Wolf. We should have Hot Fuzz in a minute, or Jez, whatever is happening. I'll have to check Instagram. We're going to talk about the weekend's games. Basically, not going to go into all of them because we're not. I don't think we're interested in all of them. So we'll just do the scores and just have a bit of a chat about them anyway. Right. So if you want to introduce yourself, Dal, go for it, mate.
What's up, everybody? This is Oregon Goon. Check me out on YouTube at Oregon Goon and Twitter at Oregon Goon HD. And hello to the chat. I see Carl Rossi and Fuzz in here so far. A few more people will be trickling in soon, I'm sure. But thanks for having me on, Yeti, and big up Wolfang. Good to see you, bro. And yeah, let's get into it.
All day long. Wolf, off to you, Wolf.
So yeah, this is Wolfgang Division here, aka Simon Rayner. Big up, everyone. Good to see Dale. I need to get back on the stream with this guy because the last time I was on the stream with this guy, he went out going Chelsea shit without even giving me the ability to retort before man ran off. So I'm looking forward to getting my rematch. And of course, when a wolf's chilling with a yeti, in the forest, you know it's a good day because he'll have his pint and I'll be like just grooming my fur. And it's all
good. I'm on tea.
Oh, you're on tea. You're on the hard stuff.
Yeah.
He's on the hard stuff. Oh, he's on tea.
Drinking the week.
Only a week. Right, I'm on water, so I'm low key at the bed.
Yeah. Oh, Fudge, if you want to come on, he's there. This bad. He's stuck in the ringer.
I mean, where did he go?
Right. Okay, Fudge. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, people. Hot Fuzz 44 OG on the tube and on the gram. Find me on both platforms.
On the gram.
That's what I just on the gram.
on the FBECT.
On the illegal grams. Just got done with a couple lines of
He's
the
doing
grams.
an Anthony. Hot Fuzz is doing an Anthony. Daily Mail. Someone ring the Daily Mail.
Yeah, definitely. Right, okay, so everybody's introduce herself even. Carl Rossi not drinking either yet, so it'd be much more dull than usual. Yeah, well, you know, we don't need the alcohol. We've got plenty of other things we can be sorting out. Right, okay. So
I'm drunk already, mate. I'm drunk before I came in there.
Water.
Going into the weekend, right? So first one is Crystal Palace Fulham. We'll just say a little bit about it. I watched the highlights. Fulham should have won it for me. It wasn't the best of games. It was a bit of a ball draw, but you know, Dal, go for it.
Which game are we talking? Fulham?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch that shit, bro. I didn't watch that shit. I watched the highlights, man. I was too upset. over the North London Derby to really pay much attention to anybody else.
Well, I
So-
would be if I supported Arsenal.
I can talk about the North London Derby. I can talk about Chelsea, Man United, Nottingham Forest, but I know fuck all about the Fulham game.
We'll get there. We'll get there. We'll get there.
My apologies, Jenny, for not being ready.
One at a time.
But no,
Right, Fuzz.
I mean, I didn't. Who they even
Palace
play?
Fulham.
Oh, yeah.
Mate.
I didn't get that.
Ball draw from the outside looking in. I remember sitting there whilst you were doing your watch along because I had this the Flash Score page open and I was seeing the other two games live in action, and I remember just looking at that and it's like, oh, so when the goal's going to come? When the goal's going to come? When the goal's going to come? Thought I'd look at the stats and it's just like no one's really going for it in that game. So it's like it's your typical sort of mid-table
Boring, mate.
clash where neither team is going into it, you know, promising to offer anything special at all, and then it literally lives up to exactly what it is. It's just a mid-table, bland as anything.
Well, I mean, Fulham should have won it. From what I saw of the highlights, Fulham had the better chances and should really have put one of them away. You know, it is what it is. Wolf, on to you, mate. I don't know where chances.
Well, I tell you what, I'm not being funny. If you were actually watching I saw only the highlights of that game, and I'm telling you, didn't it just come across as one of those other? Who else in this fucking league needs a striker? It just seems like every team in this league now needs a striker. Other
We
than
don't.
maybe Forest or Brentford.
Yeah,
I know, you know.
He's actually got a fucking striker.
Wait, oh fuck! I don't want to speak for. I don't want to speak for everyone. Do you need a striker, or are you happy with Hoyland?
We could do with someone.
Hoyland's all right.
Even we could do with someone that's like that level above
'Cause
Hoyland's,
I'll
that
tell you what,
established.
Big up
sort of
Tony, mate.
world-class type.
Oh, very big up Tony Ibarra.
Big up Mama
Flossie. Well done, Carl. Hope you had a good time the other day, bro. Well done.
Right.
You had a
So,
fantastic time.
on to another one which ain't that interesting, really. But
Okay.
it's part of the fucking game. So there we
Sure,
go.
absolutely.
Luton Wolves. I watched this one highlights again. Wolves went down to 10 men. I did watch it and I forgot how the tackle went, but I think it was definitely a red. Yeah, so basically Wolves go down, score a goal. Pedro Neto scores an absolute brilliant goal.
Yeah,
He's on it. He's on it big
Yeah.
style, isn't he, now at the minute? And then Carlton Morris gets a penalty at the end. So Luton's got their first point. These teams that have come up, they are going to struggle judging
They're not
by
very
this week.
good. Yeah, I saw that Pedro Neto goal. Yeah, that was a banger. Which is great. Which is because he's basically signing his, he's getting his resume updated to come into the Arsenal on Wednesday to be a backup. I mean, January. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Sorry, on January to be a backup for Saka. So Pedro Neto is someone that we've been looked at for the last 2 or 3 seasons, and I wouldn't be surprised if we put a bid in January for him.
Boss Yeti, can I ask you a question on that?
Of course you can, mate.
Right.
Yeah, you don't have to do the Indian.
No. The only reason why I put my hand up. I'm too polite to shout over people, you know. So I have to put my hand up. But I've got to ask you this, right? Be honest.
Well,
if you have to choose between Tony and Pedro Neto, which one do you take?
Tony.
Oh, Tony, every day.
We're more in need of that. But Pedro Neto's been on our list, bro, for a while. He's someone that's been in the rumor mill for the last 2 or 3 years coming to Arsenal. And we were close to getting him, I think, but something happened. I think it was last season or the season before. It was between us and Barca. We're looking at him, and he just got a pay increase at Wolves. And
Tony all day long, isn't it? Tony all day long.
I mean, if we got to go against Barcelona to get him, we're not going to get him.
Call me crazy. I would actually rather take Pedro Neto.
Well, yeah,
would you really? With what you need at the moment?
No. The reason why I say that.
But either way, let me. Sorry to interrupt. I would take them both. I'm right. I mean, but I would have to go with Tony first.
Okay.
I'm just worried because I think one of you are going to start singing tragedy in a minute.
Why would you take Pedro Neto over Tony? Well, what's your?
No, the reason why, right? I'll tell you why. The reason why I would take Pedro Neto over Tony is because even though we have striker issues, I actually think all round on the team wise, Pedro Neto is more experienced than some of the guys we've got. Right. And would add a different dynamic, because imagine how much better that team would be if Raheem Sterling was on the left or Pedro Neto was on the left and Raheem Sterling was on the right. you might actually. One thing a lot of people, we have strikers, they just don't get quality service. Now I know we have a lot of chances, but if you look at how those chances are fashioned, it's shots from distance or someone trying to scuff it past two players. We don't make clean-cut chances.
Yeah. But do you think Sterling had actually looked for a Tony if a Tony was in the middle instead of Jackson?
Because I think right, over the last few years, Raheem Sterling's become that kind of guy. He's always looking for a goal himself.
Yeah, true.
So Pedro Neto and them two could feed off of each other, and that's why I say that. And another thing with Pedro Neto is not only has he got a goal in his boot, like we've all saw when he just went on that ridiculous run the other day, but the thing is, did you see the game against Liverpool? I have to bring this up. That's probably the best I've ever seen Pedro Neto play. And that game against and the thing is, what really was ridiculous about that game was the types of passes that guy was doing. He was drilling them along the floor. He was doing little flick up chips and letting them. What's that? I can't remember who that guy was, but he did that perfect pass, the perfect little chip ball to the back post.
Yeah,
and my guy hit him with his stomach.
Oh, Kuna.
Yeah, thank you. That's it. And I'm thinking, you're right.
What was he doing there?
If that's 2-0, and the thing is, it was a brilliant chance. You could have finished that with your head. You could have finished that with your foot.
It was like he tried to kick it and head it at the same time.
Dude, I've never seen it. It was kind of like it was a new Premier League
chicken
technique.
stance.
It was like this. Like he tried to fold in on himself to get it. It's like he was sucked backwards. I don't know.
100%. How you doing, Danny? Welcome in, mate. That is absolutely crazy. That was. I know which one you mean. Did I ask you what was about Luton Wolves? Did I ask you, Dal? Actually, I forgot where.
Pedro Neto. I mean, it speaks for himself. I mean, Arsenal have the money. Chelsea have the money. I know all the teams have the money to bring. I mean, if you really wanted Tony and Neto.
But you don't. You don't.
85 mil would get probably both of them in. I can't imagine that Pedro Neto's over 50 million pounds, but he may be.
I bet he is. I bet he will.
Hard to evaluate a super good player on a really bad team, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, they got 50 for Neves, so why? And you could argue that Pedro Neto was more influential, so why wouldn't they charge 60? Hey, come on, if Lavia went for 60.
Yeah.
Come on.
Brennan Johnson 50 as well. So.
No, Balogun was just bad business from Arsenal because you guys should have been selling him for about 50, 60 million, and you guys are selling him for 30. It's like, say what?
I know.
And Pepe.
He should have been sold. He's the one that should have been sold.
Well, it's like, what's his name? He was undersold, wasn't he, for $4 million to Crystal Palace? What's his name?
Holding. They
your
overcharged
favourite
him.
Defender.
Your favourite defender. No, but Dale, to explain that to me, how is Pepe, right? How expensive was he? Again, 73. Right, 72. Right, you made with that signing alone, you guys made the Kai Havertz deal look shrewd because at least we sold him for money and he won trophies.
Right, but 20 million of that was stolen by Raul Solani, who was our director of football at the time.
I know. Tierney, man. That's the one thing that really about Arsenal. That's the one thing that really sticks in my claw. How did you get rid of Tierney for Kryzhenko, man?
No, he's on
loan.
You
needed him on Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll come to that.
Zink was getting blitzed, so you needed him on Sunday, but, he didn't there, so that's that, I suppose. Yeah. What about you, Fuzz? Lincoln, Luton, Wolves?
I'll tell you what, if it was Lincoln. Crikey, it'd be a bit more of a cricket score if it was Lincoln against Wolves. But I'll tell you what. The Luton game, it was pretty much all Luton after the point of the red card, and Wolves literally scored on their first shot of the entire game. That was their first time they've kicked a ball in the final third towards the goal, and it goes in. How typical is that? It's FIFA. It is FIFA scripting at its finest. Like
it is actually,
EA have got some questions to answer here, but
what a finish though!
It was.
Yeah.
What a finish!
I tell you, he's just updating his resume.
Did anyone see Lewandowski's finish at the weekend? By the way, when he did that little hook over the goalkeeper. Check that out. That was a fantastic finish. When he hooked him over the goalkeeper, it's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so we're moving on to the big teams now.
Forest.
Nottingham Forest. Manchester City against Forest. Right, I sat and watched this game. I did a watch along for it. The way they started looked scary. It looked like they was going to absolutely muller us worse than last season. We then all of a sudden, Tavares, Arsenal use absolutely spot on. He's terrible. You can't let Walker ghost behind you like that. Walker is a top class individual, and he just he left him on his own, and then the second goal he should be like stopping the cross, and he's just stood in the middle walking around. He can get the fuck out of that shirt, mate, because I ain't got no time for that lack of work rate. You either get your act together or you fuck off, pal. Go back to Arsenal and help them out. Because I'm not having that. But we went 2-0 down, 2 cracking goals to be fair, really well worked. And basically we started to play from 2-0 down. They managed to get Rodri sent off. Now everybody keeps asking me, do you really think that was a red? In my rules, no. In my rules, you'd have to set fire to somebody and then cut them up into 300 pieces for it to be a red card. But that's my rules. But the thing is, who wouldn't take it to get Man City down to 10 men?
Even Arsenal were taking it.
I would.
Yeah.
Even Arsenal
would
on
do
the
it,
weekend.
wouldn't they? Everybody would do that. So, he does put his hands above. He does put them on his throat. Do I think it's that bad? Not really. Do I care? No, not really. And then we just couldn't break it. We just couldn't break it down. And we threw everything at it. We just could not get it going. And they even nearly got a third. So it just shows how good they are, even with 10 men. Dal, over to you, mate.
Yeah, I watched the highlights of that game. I thought you guys gave a lot of fight. I was hoping you guys were going to get something out of that game.
You weren't
but I do thank you guys for getting Rodri banned for 3 games. That hopefully will help us out. But I think now that
I think it will, mate.
Yeah, exactly. I think City are so. He'll just put John Stones there or somebody, right? He'll just put another.
We'd have had to take the old team out to help you out, guys. To be fair.
He was starting was it Doku or Doka, the left winger?
Oh,
Jeremy
Doku.
Thank you. He's a class player. Where did they find him from? But the thing is, they're going to win it.
I think it was from his former team.
They're going to win it in a canter. I don't see them dropping points at all to anybody. What? They're going to destroy us. They're going to beat Liverpool maybe by a goal. Liverpool to me are definitely challenging for second, if not first. Liverpool are better than us. Liverpool are better than United.
Liverpool will be the only team to have a chance against them.
Liverpool have won 16 straight at home.
Oh, Tottenham as well. Tottenham.
And Tottenham, I think, is going to fall away because I think once they get a couple losses under their belt,
you're just saying that.
No.
I agree with him.
That back line is trash. If you can get through Basuma and get up there with 3 or 4 attacking players, you will score goals on that.
The bomb's going to hit Tottenham and it's going to blow up.
Again, James Maddison went down again Sunday. He did go down. I think he's slightly injured for the next weekend. I know he continued the game, but he got subbed off.
Can I ask everyone? Who actually thinks Maddison actually had a great game? Because I don't think he played that well.
I thought he was really good, to be honest. I thought he was decent.
I thought he was average as well. I waited my turn, but I just wanted to quickly ask everyone.
He was average because to me, if it's like if the midfielder or the player's doing what they're supposed to do, right, and they're not really making any mistakes, then it's kind of like they're just doing their job and they get a 6 or a 7. You know what I mean? Of a ranking. If they do something extraordinary, 8, 9, 10, right? So I agree. I think James Maddison was probably just above average, but once Rice went off, they had complete control of the midfield.
Every game I talk about becomes Arsenal.
Go back to like Forest City, but City are going to win it without a canter. There's no team, maybe except Liverpool, possibly Tottenham could do something there, but I just think it's City's to win it a canter. I think they could even possibly go undefeated. They might get a few draws, but other than that, they're not dropping points, guys. There's just no way. All the teams we're so bad right now. Like Wolf said earlier, Chelsea's got the injury problems. United have their internal and external problems. We have injury problems, and we have problems of with players we've got, and so I mean it's just everybody seems to be a mess, but City and Liverpool.
What about you, Wolf? City, Forest?
No, well, staying on the Forest game, definitely I saw a game of two halves. Because one thing about it is, it was what you would call for the first 15 minutes a typical City performance.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely.
I would say it would be. They started pressing you guys. They squeezed you. They got 2 goals out of you. But I'm afraid Echo the Dolphin let them down. Anyone who knows who Echo the Dolphin is, and I call Haaland that because he showed he's not a machine. He showed he's dolphin this season.
Yeah, he is.
If you've actually seen the amount of chances against Forest that he wasted.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
And I'm not talking he wasted 1 or 2. He wasted about 3, 4. Now I'm not being funny. When you're starting to show, because I'm not being funny, City fans may not actually acknowledge this, but because of Gundogan going and all them lot going, they rely on Haaland a lot more, and he's looking more fragile, if that makes sense. Now, I don't mean possibly. Now, I'm not saying he's going to like tumble away and not have a good season, because obviously with the amount of chances City make, he can score 30 goals a season, no problem. But the one thing that I will say was, once like Forest lost their nerve and got in City's faces, it was a completely different game.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Now you could argue that all right, City with Rodri, like whether it wasn't a sending off or not. I'm not going to go into whether it was a sending off or not because I believe it wasn't. But if you actually look at the whole context of the game, Rodri wasn't the only City player doing that. He was all of them were getting angry. Haaland was getting frustrated. They were all getting angry. Now, to me, if you're champions and you're looking unstoppable, you don't get upset. You stay concentrated. You stay professional. You do your job. Now, I have to say, this is one thing about City I will say about Arsenal and all the Premier League teams this year are 1 or 2 injuries from crisis.
Yep.
That's why I will say Chelsea are so bad this year because and the one thing about a lot of people don't acknowledge about Chelsea, we've had a lot of our key players killed over the last 2 seasons, like with Kante the season before and all that, and Cuckoo and whatever this year. I'll get onto that when we briefly mention the Chelsea game. But with City, I think Forest have done the best against them so far this year in terms of if you get into their faces and don't show them the respect, you can rattle them. It was, what it was. It was like watching, watching City and Forest was like. It was like watching Dean Strickland against Izzy the other week. It was just, It just eventually got. It was just eventually got. It just got to the point. It was no respect, and we're gonna get in your face now anyway. You're the champions. Definitely. What have we got to lose? We've already 2-0 down. Let's get in your face. And to be honest, I got a feeling. Let me ask you, Yeti. I know you're the host. If you guys had played that way in the second half compared to the first, I know you obviously had the issue about the man sending off. But if you had the same level of grit, because people were tracking back in the second half, people were tackling, the players, Forest players were a lot more aggressive. Don't you think you would have got a bit more out of that game than what would happen?
100%, but I think that about every game. I mean, we started doing that 4-2-3-1 now, which is starting to get going, which is looking decent, to be fair. I'd love to go to every team. I don't care who it is, Arsenal, Man United at the top of the line, whatever, and just go for them. I think we lose so many points because we're very sort of conservative and worried about what they might do instead of worrying about what we do. I do 100%.
Some of that steel in our midfield, I mean, I think Wolf hit it right on the head. I think every team needs to have that attitude going against City. What have you got to lose? I mean, really, you're there, you're in the game, you're at their ground, at your ground. You have to show some physicality. You got to push them off the ball. That's
of course you
it goes. Yeah, I mean,
they're more skillful than you. They're more skillful from you. Sure. They're more skillful than you. So just kick them.
Yeah.
As hard as you can. that's my tactics anyway. What about you, Matt? Opforce?
Yeah.
He called you Max Payne then.
Why Max? Why?
This for me is basically the saying of everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. And Nottingham Forest walked into the Etihad with that sort of thought in mind. They start the game, get punched in the face by Phil Foden, and then they're just like, oh, hold on, I wasn't ready for it. And then Haaland's just like, haha, punch again in the face. And then it's like damage control for pretty much a fair parts of the rest of the first half as such, not really really into the game, and then second half happens, you get handed a lifeline with the Rodri sending off. Now, it's anyone's guess as to whether it's rather guess. It's just everyone's different viewpoints.
You never know, do you, nowadays? At one time, I could watch a game and I'd know every decision, which way it's going to go and everything. Now you have no idea. You've got no idea.
And that's the thing. People might say, well, look, that's a red card. Cool. You'll see the same thing happen next week. They won't give a red card for it. No. You'll say it's not a red card, and then you'll see something that happens next week. And okay. Well, I don't believe that's a red card either. Okay, then they don't give the red card. It's like, so where has the change happened?
Yeah,
is it that people, like different referees, actually think differently? So they have a different perception on things, and they then
that shouldn't come into decisions. It though. The law's the law, isn't it?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I mean, it's like the other day, like I said. Why does Odegaard get a yellow card on Saturday for asking for a yellow card for the tackle on Saka? Yet when Salah did it the week before and he asked for a yellow card, he gets away with it. Surely if it's a thing and if it's a rule, then Salah should have got a yellow card as well.
Way off. It's been off like that.
You know what I mean?
For years. It's been off for
ridiculous.
Like 3 years. The consistency, that's the one thing we can all agree on. The officiating in the Premier League is by far the worst.
Definitely.
I think it's the 100%. VAR that's a big contributor to that, because VAR, what that's done is it's changed a lot of the focus onto officiating, and the officials know that. They know that they is eagle eyes on them every single week. Beforehand, it was just, you're just going to referee a game, and everyone's like, okay, cool. This week, it's like, well, every decision you make is now going to be looked at in insane detail, and whoever it is, whatever happens, your decisions are going to be put under a microscope, and you're going to feel the wrath if you even get so much as one decision even slightly wrong.
Yeah.
But also, perhaps the mentality behind it is that they're probably a bit sort of, adrenaline rush a little bit with, needing to make a big decision because they've got all of that going through their minds. I just think VAR has really just kicked football in the teeth.
Oh, I agree.
Despite it, I know people will want to say,
coming from a Man United fan, that means a lot because you get a lot of the
decisions. one Jurgen Klopp that complained about United getting penalties, and then we didn't get a penalty for the next 5 years or something. So, cheers for that, Klopp. Now we don't get penalties anymore. But it just feels like with VAR, it's just we don't talk about football matches anymore. We just talk about VAR and referees and all of this and that. It's it's a bit of a burnout, and it's annoying. Those half yards offside goals or something. You go, oh, that's an offside goal. Oh, the linesman didn't see. At least you're acknowledging the human error there, or the human incapability. And it's like, well, you're mad about it on the night, and then you move on from it because you think about all the other happenings in the game. But VAR is just everything's under a microscope forever.
And they get wrong.
Fuzz, going back to the United Arsenal game, I mean, behind VAR, that Garnacho goal stands. I don't care what anybody says. That Garnacho goal stands because I mean, I just think when they start using VAR to override referees' decision on especially offsides decisions, you're really taking the power out of the linesman at all. In some ways,
what's the point of the linesman anymore?
I just don't like the little, the little
linesman can't even see when he's in front
because his elbows in front of the player.
Look at Martinelli's offside.
I don't know.
Dale, look at Martinelli's offside last week. He was clearly on.
Yeah,
he was clearly on. He was clearly on. Everyone could say, it's like, hang on a minute. The Garnacho one, you mentioned the Garnacho one as well, comparing the two situations. I do think Martinelli was more onside than what Garnacho was. Maybe Garnacho split hair decisions like that one was really, really close, the Garnacho one. But the Martinelli one wasn't. And Mama Flossie just hit a big right in the nail of the head. She said VAR has highlighted just how poor the referees are. Going on to what Fuzzy said, And with the VAR decisions being so poor as well, like what Fuzzy said, we have to eat a shit show either way. So even when they have and that's the really embarrassing thing. We're supposed to be the best league in the world. We can review a decision twice and we still get it wrong. How?
It's ridiculous.
Like, how? Like,
it's corrupt, isn't it? It's corrupt, isn't it? It's the only real
man.
good
This is
real
poor.
answer for it, really. It's corrupt. You know, I mean, you've got Man United Glazers giving the refs a pound every time they play each other so that they get extra VAR decisions and stuff. So, you know, just how it goes. Anyway, on to Brentford. This one I was shocked by because, I mean, it's funny because 1 minute it's like, oh, Brentford look really good. They look really at it. And Everton's going down. They've got no chance and all this, that and the other. And then they just come out with that 3-1. And there were some cracking goals as well. Some of them goals were bloody amazing. That Decore first one was absolutely awesome.
Sweet finish that was.
Beautiful, man. What do you think, Dal?
I think that was a great game. I'm not, Brentford. I've always thought they were kind of an average team that just had some, some decent results along the way. Their back line's terrible. I mean, they have a decent midfield, a decent front, couple strikers, but their back line's really not that good. Everton was just up for it. Sean Dyche had them ready. He had them organized, and they were ready to play. Big up Everton. I want to see them still in the league.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than that, there were some cracking goals. Good one for Decore. He's someone I wanted at Arsenal about 5 years ago, but it is what it is. Good for Everton. I want to see them, like I said, stay up. And I mean, I think Brentford are, like I said, just a very mediocre team. They're good on one day and bad on the next. Extremely inconsistent, and they're going to be worse off when we take Tony from them in January. So
yeah, well, I mean,
that's pretty. I'm telling you guys, I think that deal's about 60% done.
Big up, Drew, mate. What's up? What's that?
I think that deal is pretty much over the line.
So on to you, Wolf, after that part. Everton, Brentford.
Well, I just finally think that was a performance from Everton that was due. Because let's be honest, right? They haven't got a rubbish team.
Right.
They've got the other Anana. They've got some decent players there, and the only person really in that team I'm not sure is Pickford. That guy, I don't know. I have to say, I'm surprised he's still at Everton. To be honest.
Yeah.
Because one thing about it is like he's stuck and fallen a couple of years ago, but all right, goalkeeper aside, they have got some good midfielders. On their day, they've still got players like they've still got a Wobie. I can't remember.
Yeah.
No, he's gone now, hasn't he?
Is he?
He's gone to Burnley. No, who did he go to? He went somewhere. They got rid of.
I'll check them out. But they have got some good attacking players. They have got some good midfielders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they defend on their day. They can be not like they can't bully anyone, but on their day they can be dangerous to anybody. And obviously with Sean Dyche, he likes, like we were saying about earlier about when Forrest got into Man City's face. Sean Dyche is definitely one of those type of guys who will get Everton to get in your face in exactly the same way, maybe even more so. So it's Eddie and Nketiah settings, mate. Eddie and Nketiah settings.
I think, judging by that message, Jazz has completely forgot that this was on tonight because I've just said, "Are you all right, mate?" And he went, "Yeah, I'm fine. How are you doing?" My show's on, mate.
I'm doing great. I'm on YouTube. How about you?
So I don't know what's going on there. What about you, Opfos, mate? Yeah,
this game. It's like before the ball's being kicked, you're like, Everton have no business winning this game, surely. Like, away to Brentford, usually tough place to go for most teams, it seems that nowadays. Like, Everton in troubles, really struggling to score goals, struggling to keep goals out, and all of that stuff, trying to work out how to put together just some form, a semblance of a competitive performance. And they rock up today and they're just like, okay, now we're going to switch it on. Now you're going to see prime dicey ball, and the players.
You knew they could, didn't you, at some point?
I think eventually they had to, something had to give, but I wouldn't have pinned it on this game.
Wait, when did Chelsea beat Everton? Or beat by Everton?
To get smashed by Everton.
What are you talking about? We play Brighton next. Tony,
he's saying when you play each other, they'll smash you.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, when he said clip that, but you're not on film. Like, how can we clip that? That doesn't make sense. Like, okay. Sorry, I didn't interrupt, but he obviously called my team out, and I'm thinking, but we haven't played it. Like, never mind. Yeah, sorry.
He's making an early prediction.
Yeah.
All right, is Jez on Tony and Matt's stream, is he? I'm
What,
assuming you mean Jez.
Yeah, there's like 3 people streaming with you, Yeti. I think Matt, Southern Gooner, Tony Clark, and you are all at the same time.
All right, well, that's a fucking liberty. All right, I tell you what we'll do then. We'll cut mine down and go and blow all that lot up. Right, anyway.
No, you're fine. You're doing your thing.
Oh, you're
We're
fine.
here together as a crew. Don't worry about
It
that.
won't be. He's gone to Fulham, by the way. He's at Fulham.
Good signing for them then. Good signing for them.
Yeah.
Smart.
Right. Okay. So the big one. We'll go to the man first because this weekend, Manchester United just shown what giants they are. They've shown what champions they are.
The game of the big
against
sad.
the mighty Burnley. I mean, Burnley only had
ghost of
90
Dyche.
minutes of the game. That was all they managed to have. I mean, Man United had 1 second, and that was all it took.
It's such a gigantic performance that Johnny Evans was probably the best player on the pitch. Work that one out.
Jeez.
Literally,
God.
free agent
Come on, you
who's
Reds.
training with us on pre-season.
Come on, you Red.
Mate,
Johnny Football.
mate, that was the first game that we played with our bright shirts, though. Our third kit.
Is that one going to be on your DVD?
Yeah.
Is Anthony going to be wearing that in
For
jail?
nothing.
Sorry.
It's going to be on our rendition of All for Nothing if we've got any Anderson cameras.
You must know that we all take pleasure in your downfall this season. I mean, we embrace the Man United downfall more than anything.
I'm just
MC
waiting.
got scored to
Brilliant
my
one.
downfall.
You know, I'm just waiting
Fuck 'em, we're all
for
here.
that Arabic music to start hitting.
Ah.
Right, the Arabic music to start hitting. You see the Qatari flag start rising over Old Trafford. Yeah, man's going to be walking around in shake outfits. I'm going to be riding camels into Manchester. You know,
Camels into Old
match
Trafford.
day.
Dude, mate,
Yeah.
it's going to be.
Oh my God. Little joy division
But yeah.
in the
It's gonna be
background.
big.
I
I
did-
think you're on your way back now. You've had that result.
I think it's
You've
win the
really
league
shown
now.
something amazing
We're
there.
going to do a match with the big red sharks coming for the big blue shark, the even bigger red shark.
How you doing, bud?
Everton better watch out, man.
Buzz is gonna get a little turban thing to wear with the little.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna do that pose that Sheikh Jassim does, where he's at his desk, he's putting that weird face and the pen in his hand.
You got to stay calm as well.
Recreate that or something.
Buzzy, why hasn't it happened yet? Why hasn't the purchase happened yet? Like, what is the holdup?
The Glazers are not going to sell.
Ask
Glazers
the Glazers, honestly.
He was waiting
'cause
till after
everyone's
the
waiting.
Burnley game.
Fuzzy,
Everyone's waiting.
if you do get the new owners, can I ask you a question? I beg you, please put a snake charmer outside Old Trafford so we can start putting coins in a basket and all that. Yeah, that'll be sick. All the Man United super fans do that, like in a row and all
We're gonna
that.
have a camel
Watch out.
stable on the back of the
Watch
stadium.
out, if I start playing that instead of a snake, you'll see Sancho because man's missing. He's busy playing his consoles wherever it
Half
is.
your wingers are missing, bro.
Yeah, off your
Speaking
team,
of wingers, I thought this is a bit random. I don't know if this is true, but apparently Anthony, last time he played on the 3rd of September, has had the same amount of chances created in the league than that Erdegaard has. They've
I
all
thought
got
you was
8
going to
apiece.
say Rashford's been arrested.
What, he probably was arrested, to be fair,
Ten Hag's
because man
been
crashed his
arrested
car.
by Man United
His wife.
Man crashed his car after the Burnley game.
He
Talk
what?
about car
Oh,
crash
mate.
season. He crashed his car after the Burnley game.
What, Rashford?
Yeah, he crashed
Drunk
his
again?
Bentley.
You know, next season, are you going to sign all your players from prison?
Well, we'll probably have to loan them all back from Getafe at
You
this
can
rate.
imagine that.
Like
innit?
the
Man United can do the, you guys, Man United are going to do the transfer business in lineup. They're going to do the transfer business in prison lineups. They'll be like number 8 officer.
So we-
Man
Our-
United,
our-
Man United are in Alcatraz looking
Well,
for new players.
You know our
Yeah,
away
yeah.
kit. You know our away kit looks like a Newcastle kit, right? What they need to do is change the dark green to black and white, and then change it so it's hoops. So it's just hoops, and it's just like
Oh, my days.
change it to a prison outfit
No, I
or a
got a
straight
question.
jacket.
I got a serious question for you.
Question mark.
So since Onana's so bad and can't spread his arms, how is he going to spread his hands when the handcuffs are only this big?
I don't know. Need to get Phil Jones in for that, because man knows how to go down for a header.
Oh my god!
Man drops to the floor to head the ball.
You need to concentrate on having English players, mate, because most of them are going to get deported soon.
Yeah, Brexit's going to
go back to Brazil.
Everyone's worried about 115 charges for Manchester City and all of that stuff. Mate, Brexit, Bojo's law is going to come into effect, and Man City are going to get wiped off the face of the planet. Liverpool wiped off the face. Chelsea, Arsenal, everyone wiped off the face of the planet with all of this Brexit nonsense that's going on. Honestly,
I don't know.
You want shake owners or something? You're talking about Brexit and all that. You want shake owners,
mate?
It's probably going to be go shakes, are they? If they want Brexit.
You brought up something You brought up something that us Americans don't know. I mean, I've heard of Brexit, but what's the latest news? What
honestly, I don't know, because I've not I literally get something that pops up on the internet, like news feeds every once in a while, that's just like, oh, this is happening with Brexit, oh, that's happening with Brexit. I'm like, cool, right? So we're not going anywhere with this. It
was a political agenda.
My dad's a politician. I know this shit. Don't take no note. It's just bullshit.
I thought it was anyway. I always thought it was, to be honest.
How do you get? Okay, let me ask everyone in this room a serious question, right? If you're in a financial struggle, and you need to make sure your country has goods, why the fuck would you isolate yourself from everybody else? Only to redo everything anyway. Just we're not doing it as part of a community. We're just doing it on our own. Can I have a jam sandwich, please, Miss Patterson?
Hey, but let's not just cover over the racial aspect of it either, right? I mean, there's a racial aspect, of immigration aspect.
Oh, 100%, 100%. Right? It was a division thing for me.
Yeah.
100%. Right, anyway, let's kind of move on, because none of us said anything about Man United. Well, apart from taking the piss quite a lot. But, you know,
you wanted to talk about Man United seriously?
Okay.
Sorry.
I should have called it the Man United comedy show, but then again, that would have been about 24 hours long, so we don't need to be doing that. Right, Brighton and Bournemouth. Bournemouth. Bournemouth scored. Bournemouth always look quite decent, to be fair. I like that Billing guy. He looks decent. Cool. I think he'll end up in one of the top teams eventually. And Solanke as well. I mean, the goalie made that really terrible mistake. Solanke buries it. But then Brighton just go, hold my beer. And then they are just on a different planet right now.
Right back.
Yeah, they are on a different planet. The way they came back into that game. And they got Ansu Fati pressing. I mean, come on, man. I mean, he's got such a work rate thing going there. I love it. 100%. If we lost Cooper, I'd have De Zerbi, definitely. Might won't come to us, but you know. Dow.
That's all, folks. No.
I was just about to. You robbed my life.
Brighton's third place. They're scoring goals. De Zerbi looks like he's going to be manager of the month, probably.
We don't want that.
They're a team too, man. That I think they have a real chance to push for fourth place. I don't think they're going to get third, second, or first. But fourth place is going to be up for grabs with them, Newcastle, and Tottenham. I don't know, man. I'm fearful of them. I mean, I know we got Bournemouth on the weekend. I'm not too concerned about. I think even we're away there. Regarding our injuries, I think we can go there and get something. But back to Brighton, they're playing great football. De Zerbi's going to be the manager of the month, it looks like.
The scary thing about Brighton is they get rid of their best players
and still.
And they look better even after they've done it.
Like the ball, man, you regenerate. What's going on?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it
They're,
is.
they're much better at
Cool.
reinvesting money than Spurs are. That's for sure.
Mm. Oh yeah, definitely.
But and almost better than us at the same time, and definitely better than United. But the fact of the matter is, Brighton are maybe a top 6 side. They're not to be underestimated. I mean, I think Newcastle blew them out though a couple weeks ago. Was it 3-0?
Yeah.
And then Newcastle turned around and win again 8-0. But we'll definitely get into that for sure. But no, Brighton are somebody to be fretful of. But a couple like Wolfgang said, every team's got 1 or 2 injuries away. They get a couple injuries, they're done as well, I guess. But
Chelsea's got about 30.
That for a really small club to be fighting week in and week out. I mean, they pass the ball well, they're organized, and they know how to attack. Big up Brighton.
Yeah, nice one, Dal. On to Wolf. On to you, Wolf.
Well, I have to say, Brighton, they're probably the most entertaining team to watch in the Premier League at the moment. And I'll tell you why. Because, and I tried telling Deji this, and when I told him that if Spurs are a big team, Brighton are a big team, he laughed at me and I said, oh, yeah, you know that Brighton have scored more goals than Tottenham Hotspur, right? And he kind of went quiet, and I swear Dale was there as well when I told him that. And he kind of pulled a funny face. Yeah. I've been putting respect on Brighton's name since they battered you guys at the Emirates last season.
Yeah.
And Brighton would have finished Arsenal on Sunday if it was them and not Spurs. That's how better they are.
The reason why I make reference to that Arsenal result back to last season because it's just how cleanly, and I mean this, not many teams nowadays go to Arsenal and make them look completely second rate. Right. If there was a specific performance to highlight the disappointment of Arsenal fans last season, it would probably be the Brighton one at home or the Southampton one at home. But Brighton, they were so clean on the ball. Yeah. When you look at the goals they score, they're not like, oh, we're just gonna scuff it over the line. They're proper balling the ball into the back of it. It's like
beautiful
stuff. And like Matoma, what a season he's having. Like he's turning into a good winger, very dangerous. We said about Pedro Neto earlier on. At the moment, them two, I would say, are competing it out for maybe best winger in the league.
Yeah.
When it comes down to, obviously, who did they play? Oh, no, Brighton. Bournemouth. Sorry. Bournemouth, they're another team. They're trying to get stable again. They've had another summer where not quite as bad as, say, Forest or Chelsea with the amount of players they've got, but they've got a decent squad. They'll give anyone a game. So, to be honest, it'll with these sort of teams, it'll just how did they do after 10?
You'll
get engaged because if they can keep up fighting and keep on playing, then man, they've got a tick. We all kind of in our own back of our own minds, we've all got Luton going down.
Sheffield United.
It's just who's going with them. Now I can say the other 3 teams are probably the other 2 teams are bad enough where maybe Chelsea don't have to worry about slipping down into that because we'll get our players back. But I'll tell you what, Bournemouth will be all right, and Brighton, it'll just, like Dale repeated what I said a minute ago, if they don't get 1 or 2 players injured, and I don't see why Arsenal don't go for a Lewis Dunk in the transfer window, actually, as backup.
He's been talked about a couple seasons ago. We talked about him on the YouTube.
I know that. There was always that competition from a couple of years ago, but one thing about it, that's the one thing I miss about Premier League squads as a whole. No one's got over what they need, like when they used to. Do you remember all the teams used to have a fill for riches for backup? And even now, it's just like, why does everyone follow this Pep Guardiola model of try and use 16 players? It's just like you can see at Arsenal, and I don't mean this badly, how that goes wrong, how it can make cripple your side.
100%, bro. 100%.
It's one of those ones where I don't like. Oh, mate, and I keep on bringing this point up. The fitness levels in the Premier League, right? They're too much. It's too much for the players. It's way too much for the players. And I'll give you an example of that, right? And I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure how much Dale would know about this, but Fuzzy would know about this, and Yeti would know about this. If you look at the history of English players over the last 25 years, you can name endless amounts of players that have ended their careers early or finished their bodies to Michael Owen, Dean Ashton, Joe Cole, Jonathan Woodgate. All these guys that just rip their bodies to pieces. Ledley King. Ledley King could have been one of the best defenders in the Premier League ever. And I'm not even mocking Spurs, just as a football.
Could be Saka soon.
That's what I'm saying. But the funny thing is, Premier League games are getting longer, and they're adding more and more ridiculous international fixtures, and our teams are playing with less and less players.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you know what? Yeah, it's this is gonna get ugly, folks, and that's already why Chelsea, Man United, and Arsenal are suffering already. And this is why I'm kind of smug as a Chelsea fan, and I'm not panicking because you know what? Later on, when you lot will get deep into Europe and stuff like that, even if we go out of all the cups, we can play one game a week, bring everyone back in, get everyone training. Because a lot of people forget this, like when they say about my team, about you spent 1.5 billion. Yeah, 500 million that's got on the pitch, 500 million hasn't. Get your facts right. Put it in context. Don't just chat shit.
Yep.
Do you think Pochettino will still be there?
Yeah. How is it his fault?
It's not his fault at all.
No, it's not his fault.
Yeah,
It's not his fault at all.
Let me give you an example. I get you. Okay, we're on a construction site. I get you 30, 20-year-olds to run it. Do I need to say anything else?
Light experience, yeah.
These guys are not going to know how to... Don't get me wrong, Enzo's a good quality player. Like, don't get me wrong. They can have quality, but at the end of the day, right, you're still taking... Because most of these guys haven't played together for more than a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, that's why I'm quite happy to sit there and take the rough with the smooth. Because, right, you go back to watch my match with it, I predict we lose against Aston Villa. I even say that in my match preview. I say that, I'm going to wake up with Una Emery nightmares. I'm going to wake up like, good evening. But the thing is, because you could see it coming. Any real foot, this bullshit on paper. Oh, yeah, Chelsea should be. Any real foot, let's like Brighton at Man United the other day. If you have any knowledge of football, you knew Aston Villa were going to give Chelsea problems. You knew it. Oh, yeah. You just knew it.
Right.
I'm not going to bullshit hype or anything. Like, I'll tell it as it is. My team are one of the best teams in the Premier League when we have everyone fit. When you got 12, but the Shield's injured. Wesley Fofana's injured. Reece James is injured. But,
Reece James is a huge player, yeah.
Moises Caicedo, and Cuckoo. Moises Caicedo's only just coming back. Broha's only just coming back. Badashai is just coming back. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, you spent 1 billion. Let me get 1 billion of talent worth on the pitch. Then come back to me, please.
Yeah.
So when we're playing our reserves, and let's be honest, right? If everyone's fit, does Gusto get into that team? No. If everyone's
we had exactly the same thing last season. You've signed 30 players and all this, that, and the
that's why me and you relate.
It's like,
we
stayed up, mate. We stayed up, mate.
The thing is, you're a year along in the project, though, because obviously with the Steve Cooper project, you're a year on into Premier League survival, and you've already got your oars. You may have a steady boat, so to speak. We don't.
Yeah.
Here you go, Poch. Here's 30 kids. Here's a Premier League season.
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah, 100%. What about you, Opfors, on that? Jazz is here now, and I can only have like 3. So if one of you wants to...
I'll make this point my last point because I'm probably going to be busy.
Yeah, if you want to say something about Forest, I'll just shove you in the sin bin anyway. So that brings
Don't go there, trust me. You don't go there.
But yeah, something quickly about Brighton. Whether Lee Gunners thing about hipster managers or hipster teams and things like that do really well in the Premier League. But if you want to know how to beat Brighton, go take a page out of Athens' book. AEK Athens.
No.
Yeah.
On that, you know what it is? with the derby, right? It's not the fact of, I think Lee gets that mistaken. He sees the hype around him and associates the manager with the hype.
Yeah.
It's not the Derby's fault that 50,000 people are talking to him. I love Lee.
Yeah,
I always give him super chats. If any of you guys know me, you know I like. When you talk to Lee, he's a nice guy. When you actually have a laugh with Lee, he's a nice guy. It's just when you start like getting into him about the media narratives, because obviously he's done whatever job he's done before. He knows, he sees certain things that I'm not even aware of, and it sends off alarm bells. But at the same time, it's not the guy's fault, because he says like obviously Fuzzy, it's a hipster manager, but it's not his fault. The hipsters are talking about him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't.
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Well, Lee has his opinion. Everybody else has their opinion.
I love
if
you,
you
man.
can't take their opinion, then you can't give your own opinion, can you?
bots in his chat and stuff, like all those idiots.
That's it. At the end of the day, opinions are like arseholes. We've all got one. It just we don't know who wants to see it. So not everybody wants to see it. I mean, I got that wrong. Right. Okay. So, what did you say about Forest Up Fuzz?
I didn't say anything.
What you're not having that, mate. Right. Anyway, yeah.
Sin bin.
Sorry, mate.
Rugby rules, people. But anyways, yeah, I'll
actually no.
I'll make way.
I can't see Jez there. If I drop you out, do I have to drop you out of the bottom bit as well? Or do you have to quit?
I don't know. You should be able to see him if he's been able to type in private chat.
Hear it.
I can't see him on that. Hold up, wait a minute. We've got a Dan scroll. Oh, here he is. Got Dan scroll. He's down there, look, with the other Arsenal that's crying at the minute. Right, okay. Right, cheers, buddy. Thanks a lot for coming on. Shout your stuff out before you go. Shout your stuff out before you go.
Upfuzz44 OG on YouTube. You can type me on the YouTube tab, but you should find me on there. But also same handle on the Instagram. I've got the same logos as well, so I'm quite easy to find and distinguish on Instagram and YouTube. So go drop me a follow on my gram. Go drop me a subscription on my YouTube channel.
And if you're any good, like as a Samaritan, then help him out because he needs it at the minute.
All the support I can get, all the people to carry my bands. But yeah, big ups everyone. Thank you very much.
Milk. See you later, mate.
Take care, guys.
Take care, I like that.
I gotta get the shirts for it.
Man, I get that one.
Definitely,
definitely. From now on, bro. That's what I'm gonna put hot chocolate.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, mate. Cheers. See you later, buddy.
Oh, I love that guy, man. So nice.
Oh, there's
and here he is. It's
There's my Uncle Jez.
Apologies, guys. It's out of my control.
You're a popular guy, Jezza. What can we say?
Well, I just loaded up StreamYard, right, at 5 to 6, and all of a sudden, update on Opera. And I'm like, right, okay, this will take 5 minutes, fair enough. So I'm watching you and Southern Gooner on my desktop.
Oh, yeah.
Desktop PC here. And I'm like, right, this will take 5 minutes. No, 48 minutes later. Then I had to reboot StreamYard because it cut my mic out, which it always does. It's a real piss me off. And so I've been sitting here watching YouTube channels, and then eventually it finished itself. I could get in here, so I do apologise.
What opera was it? Phantom of the Opera?
No. On the iMac, I use the streaming base Opera.
Yeah. I know which one you mean.
And it decided it's going to have a mad update. And
lovely, jubbly.
What annoys me is why can't you actually time it? If the main iMac system's going to do it, you can say do it at such a time in the morning.
Yeah. I think it can be Windows. I don't know.
Yeah, schedule
Windows. Yeah, you can do it on Windows. My desktop is Windows, Windows 10, and you can say 3 in the morning or something or whatever.
Yeah.
But Opera, it doesn't give you the option. It will just do it.
All right.
I could have been on live with you, and all of a sudden it will do an update, and then you're fucked.
Check the setting.
Yeah.
Check to see if there's a setting you can change it.
I've done it, mate. I've done it.
I've never used it, so I don't know.
You can't change it. It just does it. It's very, very frustrating. So I do apologise.
Like Cole says, this is exactly why I don't stream. IT is my nightmare. Yeah, I know what you mean, mate. Right. Anyway, we are actually up to the big one, which is Chelsea Aston Villa. You go first, Wolf.
I keep thinking you're going NLD.
Yeah, I know. Why do you have to come to me first? What can I say? Another fantastic
on the big one.
No, hey, dude, man, it's another fantastic performance for Chelsea. I thought we were brilliant. Another day where we're just missing one of our injured players. Another day where we're just lacking a finishing touch. Another day where we're just not making quality chances instead of a lot of chances. We're missing our 10 or so players out.
Pick up Guna forever.
It will get better in time. I think sacking Poch now would make no sense.
Yeah, I agree. With that.
On the day, Aston Villa with Unai Emery. Good evening, everyone. Play some football. Yeah, fair. Everyone knew. Yes, Arthur. Chelsea are shit. I agree. But we can get better. But fair play to Villa. They
can't get worse.
Yeah, isn't that the truth? Fair play to Villa though. They took their chance when they had it. Ollie Watkins. This was a nice finish. Not a lot Sanchez can do about it. Thiago Silva got nutmegged.
It weren't their best chance either, was it? The one that actually was a goal.
But the thing is, when you're missing all your main centre backs, though, what do you expect? When you're missing half of your midfield, what do you expect? When you're missing all your right wing backs now, or right backs, however Poch decides, because we've got no gusto now. We've got no.
Right. Oh yeah. What do you think to that Gusto one? I didn't think. I mean, I'm not being funny, right? But if he wins the ball, how's he supposed to stop his foot keep going?
Look, that's the same thing I was talking about with someone else the other day about the Eddie Nketiah one. How is that Gusto on a red card, but that Eddie Nketiah tackle on the goalkeeper and
ridiculous
was not? That goes into what we were talking about earlier about the officiating. Because I'm not going to blame any team for that because that's not on the teams. So it's
Arthur knows what time it is. Look,
Arthur knows what's up.
Yeah, I know. I know what's up too. Unfortunately,
how you doing, Arthur? You're all right.
But yeah, fair play to Villa. Ollie Watkins took his chance when he got it. It was a nice little finish. But I still think there's a lot more to come from Chelsea when they get all their players. Because I'm definitely going to put it in the as I said about.
Definitely.
You know, I mean, we've got loads of kids.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, right, okay. So Wolf's just going to sit there crying, making excuses. What do you think, Dal?
I think Chelsea is shit. No, I mean, I know. I'll backtrack. I think what Wolf said earlier about them missing about 6 or 7 of their normal top players, there's something to be said there. I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You know, if you're missing your top players, you're going to suffer. And I enjoy the suffering as an Arsenal fan. I think it's great that you're 4 points above relegation. I love Domino's Pizza. You know, and I just love to see the Blues in the gutter. But I do respect Wolfgang because I know he knows his football and he knows his team in and out. And he's made a very good comments earlier about how they're missing 5 or 6 of their players. Reece James is a major loss for them.
Jamina.
You know, in Kuno, we don't know what he can do in a blue shirt just yet, but we know he's a class player. I mean, it's just one of those things like Wolf said, you go up the hill, you come down the hill. You go up the hill, you come down the hill. And Chelsea are just in the downhill phase right now. But to still think that they're, you know, like really going to be relegated, I just don't see that. But
you're dreaming. You're hoping too much.
Yeah, you know, he's not going to get relegated.
No. So, but if the goals don't come, I mean, you know, what happens when you drop more points? I mean, once that cycle gets going, I think Wolf knows that. The
3 teams that's come up are too bad.
Because we saw Arsenal at 20. Because Jez and I saw our Arsenal at 20th 2 seasons ago. So once those wheels get turning, sometimes it's hard to put on the brakes, right? When stuff just starts mounting up, and all of a sudden you find yourself in 17th, 18th place. But the fact of the matter is Chelsea still is a very, very strong team on paper. They just can't glue anything together. You know, they just can't. The passing's okay. Like Wolf said, the goals will come, but they've first got to get the ball through the midfield, and it's just. You know, it's just a hodgepodge.
It's just to Sterling, and then Sterling runs down, and then just kicks it at a defender.
It's very one-dimensional.
Sterling's a good footballer. I mean, he used to be sort of great at that level.
Too greedy for me.
Last year's at Liverpool, I thought he was outstanding with Suarez and Sturridge, but that's a long time ago. And if they're thinking that Sturridge has any real leadership qualities, then they're sadly mistaken, because I don't really see him as a leader much at all, to be honest. You know, but hey. Big up the villains.
What about you, Jez? Let me just read this one out from Arthur, because I don't know who this guy is, to be honest. No, I don't mean Arthur. I mean the guy who's on about the footballer. Leeds fan, we bought Amdudu. Brilliant signing, because Chelsea don't give Amadudu. Chelsea don't give players like him a chance, rather buy Caicedo for 115 million. What do you think to that? And then on to Jez about Chelsea.
Oh, to be honest, we needed depth. We bought Caicedo because we needed depth. Oh yeah, and he got injured as soon as and Chuameka finally gets some form, scores against West Ham. What happens 10 minutes later? He gets injured.
Yeah.
Injuries.
You're getting some shit, you are.
Domingo.
Right, on to you, Jez, about Chelsea and Aston Villa.
Well, at the moment, Chelsea are just in capitulation, aren't they?
Mm.
I think they're in such a shit state, as bad as Arsenal. And to be honest, I don't think they know what's going down. Injuries all round the squad. And it's going to be a tough season, I think, for both Arsenal and Chelsea and Man United, to be honest.
Mm.
And that's going to give the opportunity, sadly now, with Man City and Liverpool to walk away with it. You know, the fact remains that let's not be silly. Arsenal are nowhere near going to win the Premier League. We're nowhere near going to win the Champions League. And I think Chelsea, excuse me, I think Chelsea will lose to Aston Villa. Aston Villa got a decent manager. I wanted him. I didn't want him to go. He experience. He was a winner, a proven winner. And we have the clown that is Arteta, who's won one FA Cup, which with a team. Who was his team? Emery. Yeah. Well, there you go. That says it all, doesn't it? And what's he done since? Absolutely nothing. And so, yeah, I'm sorry for Chelsea, but I think you're going to lose to Aston Villa, man.
We already did. Oh, you mean Brighton?
You did, mate. It's 1-0.
You mean Brighton tomorrow? Because we play Brighton. Oh, we got Brighton tomorrow. No, we got Brighton tomorrow.
Right, anyway, on to Liverpool and West Ham. West Ham scored first with what I thought from, forgot his name, but diving header. Very brave, from Bowen. That diving header was very brave. He was very near Van Dijk's feet, and he nearly got kicked in the head. And then all of a sudden, like I said with Brighton earlier, Liverpool then just turned it on. And I mean, they get a penalty for Salah, which was definitely a penalty. And then you've got a beautiful goal by Nunez. And then I think it was Jota. Absolute brilliant. What do you think? We'll go to Jez first this time.
I didn't see the game, so I can't really comment, to be fair.
I only got highlights. Just that.
I didn't see any highlights, to be honest with you. I can't really comment that much, to be honest. But I think the result stands as it is, and I'll have to leave it there. I didn't see any highlights at all. So
I think Liverpool could be there or thereabouts, to be honest. They're starting to look like the powerhouse they used to be.
I'll agree with you there, because I think Man United, Chelsea, Arsenal are in a real poor position right now. And I think Liverpool will kick on. No question about that. And I think Man City, it's theirs to throw away. End of the day. You know,
definitely.
But people crying, saying, oh, well, we can't compete with Pep. Well, let's just give it all up now then, shall we?
Well, we might as well just give up then and just give them the titles.
You'll never hear a Chelsea fan just give it all to Pep. F that. We've beaten him a Champions League final. We can take things away from City because we've done it.
So anybody can.
You guys speak for yourselves. That I mean, generally people who just say give it to Pep, because I ain't gonna agree with that ever. Because I've taken Conte did it, Tuchel did it. We took Pep's trophies away from Pep. So yeah, bring it on. I just need to get.
We've all got a target now. We know where we've got to go for and what we've got to strive to. And if you look at the way things are going at the minute, whether we've got the quality or not, we've definitely got the players and the strength in depth. We haven't got the quality yet or the actual method of play. We're getting the method of play working. So I mean, we might even be, doing a lot more come next season. I mean, you just got to wait. I mean, it might even be this season. We'll see. Wolf, Liverpool, mate.
Well, I was just about to say on Liverpool. Because obviously I did watch a bit of extended highlights, about 20 minutes of it. To me, it looked like West Ham started the game well, scored their goal, and then just literally Liverpool just went no.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah,
that's exactly what happened because they just stuck it on. Once they stuck it on West Ham, that's it. West Ham never recovered. They were completely pinned back.
Yeah.
And to be honest, actually, to see Liverpool overpower West Ham the way they have, with the way West Ham have been competing with everyone recently, including Arsenal and Chelsea, following on to what Jez said. Yes, I actually think that was quite an impressive display from Liverpool. Yes, I will think they'll be the closest to City. West Ham, I think maybe like Forest can push for top 10. Because I'm not going to lie, what's one thing I will say about this? Everyone goes by last season, and this season's a completely different ball. Everyone look at Tottenham Forest and they look at West Ham like a joke. And I'm thinking, West Ham are European champion. How can you look at them like a joke?
Yeah.
People are buying play. And I'm not going to lie, Ward-Prowse is someone I wanted at Chelsea. Because one thing about it is, I would rather him there than Conor Gallagher.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
If you had Conor Gallagher, if you had Caicedo, Enzo, and Price in that midfield instead of Conor Gallagher, everyone's not laughing. And he was well easy to get. This is what I thought with Maddison, likewise with Arsenal. Why didn't we buy these guys? Seriously, why did we? And the thing is, we went shopping at Southampton anyway, and we could have got a more experienced, more useful, better player than Lavia for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, definitely. What about you, Dal? Liverpool?
Liverpool are a machine. They've won 16 straight at home from last season. There's no way we're going to beat them. If we go to Anfield, it's going to be disgusting. Especially if we have our injury record that we do now. I don't know what Jess thinks, but we don't even have enough top players to fill an 11 right now.
No,
I mean, we don't. No. Reece Nelson, El Neni, Cedric, Tomiyasu. You know, if they're on the pitch against Liverpool.
Yeah, I know that. It's crazy, right? Isn't it? I think Liverpool pose a genuine threat. 100%.
I don't see us even scoring against Liverpool.
No.
I'm so pissed off still from Sunday, and from what I saw Sunday in the second half, I think any team in the Prem right now, besides Wolves and Luton and Sheffield, could beat Arsenal. I'm dead serious. I think Chelsea could beat us right now. We have nothing in the park. With our injury record, we have no one of real talent and strength on the pitch on the team currently.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, one or two of your players go missing. That's it. There's nothing there.
With regards to Liverpool, they don't have the injury record that Chelsea have or like we have. They have all their players firing. Darwin Núñez is going to score 25 plus goals. He's looking better than he was, a season or two ago with his silly ponytail. We all made fun of him, but now look. I mean, Cody Gakpo, top player. Their midfield's better. They got rid of all their older players. They're definitely going to be chasing City.
They have better players. They have better players on the bench than some of us have actually got in our first team.
Right, and I rate Klopp as one of the best managers in the world. I mean, I wanted him.
Yeah, I agree.
If Ancelotti wasn't going to come in, it was Klopp for me. But of course, that we know that story. But yeah, Liverpool are a machine, and we ain't going to beat them, and they're probably going to get second or first. They could probably even pip City if they play close by a point or two. I know that's a stretch, but I don't see any other team competing with City right now in this week 7.
Right, so now it's on to the big one, and I can see Jazz is chomping at the bit and wants to talk about the way they lost North London yesterday on Sunday. Talk to me, Jazz.
Well, let's be honest, it was a shit show, wasn't it? I'm just amazed how an Arsenal football team can't get pumped up for a North London derby. All right, the first 30 minutes we looked class. I can't deny that. But then it all went totally down the toilet, and the whole thing was a shit show. And substitutions, dear God, what was a man doing at half time? What are you doing? I mean, I know Declan Rice had to go off because he's got an issue with his back, apparently.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, dear.
Interesting, considering he's never had an injury problem playing career. Comes to Arsenal and he's injured. Maybe back for the Man City game. I hope so. If we don't have him, mate, we're in deep trouble. It was just, I mean, you take off Jesus and leave Nketiah on for 100 minutes.
Well, I don't get that at all. I wouldn't even leave him on for 1 minute, to be quite honest with you. I mean, I don't get him at all.
He's crap. He's absolutely crap.
Who's got a bee in the room?
Sorry?
Who's got a bee in the room? I can hear buzzing.
Somebody has.
Oh, the lawnmower. I got a lawnmower. The neighbors. Sorry. Go on, Jess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry, but
Lawnmower, sorry.
we are now, and we've been calling it for like 3 seasons. Our lack of depth in the squad is going to cost us massively.
Yeah.
Right. The fact we're away tomorrow night at Brentford, then we've got away at Bournemouth at the weekend. Brentford are no mugs.
You're going to throw that away, aren't you, basically?
Of course we will. He will throw it in the bin as he does. Brentford won't, because Brentford have the chance of winning silverware.
Right.
And they've lost the last 2 games as well.
Yeah. All right, they lost very badly at the weekend to Everton, which I was very surprised about. But I don't know what went on there. I didn't see the game, so I can't really comment. But that remains, that's a bad result for them at home. But they're not going to be easy tomorrow, because I am confident that Arteta will. I could name the team that I think I would play. I know what he's going to do.
They'll react tomorrow. I can guarantee that, Brentford.
So it was an embarrassment, really. And the fact that I hate the sort of thing I saw in the second half, where Romero gets booked at a Spurs corner against Jesus, and then they're laughing.
Yeah.
This is your...
What is that about?
Well, yeah, I mean, Jesus. I mean, the problem is, Yeti, they don't. None of these players understand nowadays what a North London derby means.
No.
Because they're all foreign. They're only playing for the money. Yeah. It's not like the teams we used to have back in the day when we had Adams, Bold, those ilk, Dixon, Winterburn.
Homegrown players.
Absolutely.
They got what it meant to Arsenal, and what it meant to the fans. Yeah. And those players played for the badge. These people aren't. They're just there for their 100, 200, 300 grand a week.
Don't you think, though, just something I've been thinking, don't you think that works for the owners? Because the last thing they want is for players going in full-blooded and then getting injured and then paying them while they're on the sidelines. So I think it's the owners and all that's killed the derby. The derby's only important to the fans. It's not important to the players. That's why they're all shaking hands and laughing while the game's on.
This meeting, mate. Just another day.
The passion's gone out. The passion's gone out of it now.
Yeah,
it's not just the London derby. It's a lot of derbies. It's like your classic derbies when you used to have with Derby County. Back in the day.
Yeah.
Liverpool, Everton, Man City. I think Man United, Liverpool is still passionate. Because of the facts of what both clubs have won.
Yeah.
But, you know, I'd put money on this now. Newcastle United to play Sunderland, right, in a north-east.
Kind weird derby.
Yeah, it wouldn't be anywhere like it used to be. It wouldn't be anything like it once was. Because those players, most of them, let's get it right, are from abroad. And these players don't understand it. It's not like Real Madrid against Atletico like the other night. Right. That was an absolute war.
Just shows how important these fans are to these club owners and stuff like that nowadays. They're not important because every fan looks on the fixture list and looks for your game against Tottenham. You know what I mean? It's your big game. It's your Wembley outing, isn't it, really?
Yeah, totally agree with you, man. Totally agree. And I think it's a great shame. I really do. I think.
Yeah, I do.
People that are paying thousands of pounds a year, especially at Arsenal, for a season ticket, and you rock up It's cost you money to get there, eat some food, buy some beers, right? And you just get a shit show like that. I mean, that is why I'm so glad I don't have a season ticket anymore.
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah.
Right, to hear old school fans say that, folks, let me just put it this way. A guy that used to go to football through the 80s and the 90s to say that he doesn't want a hot season ticket, I never thought I'd hear that in my lifetime.
Massive, isn't it? It's massive.
Putting a tear in my eye, Jess. You're putting a tear in my eye.
Yeah.
No, Londoners take football very seriously, Dale.
Yeah.
You know why we take it so seriously? Is because we have to fight everyone. Now, when you think of London as an area, we have the most competition amongst ourselves for teams.
92
Fulham,
clubs.
Brentford, Arsenal, Chelsea, West
Yeah,
Ham.
no, I get it.
It's a Lions den down here, bro.
It is, yeah.
It's
No,
a Lions.
I think before I read there was 92 clubs in inner London. I mean, different leagues, obviously. But you're right. Yeah, Jazz, you just kind of broke my heart, man, because, you're right. Those players we have right now don't know the gravity of the North London Derby.
Nope.
And they don't grasp the concept of grassroots football, right? They're big names that come with a big, hefty price tag. You lower those prices, you'll see more heart. I truly believe that. You lower those wages, you'll see more heart.
Yeah.
And as for yesterday, Yeti, it was you have to score your goals. Jesus,
you go for a neutral.
That fucking goal, and I'm sorry to swear, but once he missed that shot, I knew it wasn't our day.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Dale. I'll come on to that later when you've had your say.
It just wasn't our day. We weren't clinical enough, but at the same time, we don't have the striker and the players in place to do the job to make us clinical, to help us.
Why is Jesus not up front when he's just scored against PSV? I mean,
if I find myself comparing Jesus to Eddie, what the fuck? If the baseline is Eddie, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
If I'm finding myself comparing Vieira and Havertz. Havertz and Vieira are the baseline? I mean, Jesus Christ, this way this club has fallen down. In the last year, like Jez has said it before, we're bang worse average shit than we were last season. We have gotten worse. Because you know what? Granit Xhaka gave a shit last season and ran his tail off, while Havertz follows Jesus like a lost puppy. There was a time, I was saying this yesterday on Tony's show, there was a time Havertz was right behind Jesus watching him cross the ball. Why weren't you in the middle? Why weren't you in the box? You were following him behind like a lost fucking puppy. These kids, they don't know where to go. And I don't know if it's Arteta not giving enough instruction, if it's them wanting to do their own thing.
I don't think
he's
bothered.
To be their own star. I don't know what the problem is. And the thing is, Jez is right. For 30, 35 minutes, we should have been 2-0 up. But we couldn't take our chances. And when you leave Eddie and Kedia up there for 100 fucking minutes at $1,000 a minute, and all he does is run straight and stop, run straight and stop, run straight and stop. What is Arteta seeing? I'm fucking done, bro. I'm serious. I was saying this to Tony. If I'm on the cliff right now and you were to push me off, is Arteta out? Push me off, because this isn't a continuation of last season. We haven't built on anything from last season. We've got one outfield. We got 0 outfield players in since July 15th. We let the whole fucking month of August go to bring in a loanee keeper that essentially we didn't really need.
Yeah.
I'm fucking done with it, bro. It's 7 weeks in, and I'm already like, my voice is already lifted. From what I got up at 6 a.m. to watch that shit Sunday.
Oh, that's the worst thing.
Morning. I was dead tired. But then, saw some life. I'm like, oh, okay, we're up for this. We're getting a couple shots, and then the whole thing just fucking goes to shit the minute Rice is taken off the pitch. The whole thing went to shit. Basuma controlled the midfield from the 45th minute to the 75th minute of that game. We pat him under the cosh the last 10 minutes, putting shots in. Reece Nelson is not going to fucking save us.
No.
Reece Nelson is not going to save us game in and game out.
No. Is it an Emirates problem? Because,
no.
The reason I say that is because I was saying to Dal earlier, and I wanted to let Jez in on this as well, and you as well, Wolf. To me, it was very similar to the game against us at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Where in the first half, you was all on it and, trying to do this, that, and the other, and then all of a sudden you just, drop the ball, basically.
Yeah. Why are we? Jez can maybe answer this too. I don't know why we go out of third gear into second when we're 2-1 up.
Mm.
You know, it makes no sense. We didn't really do that last season. Maybe the back end of the season, but we still had fight. We still beat Newcastle last season 2-0. That was the one game that stands out for me at the end of the season. But the fact of the matter is, we are worse. We are worse. We're struggling to score goals. We're struggling to get through balls. We don't know where Eddie Nketiah is going. Jesus is running around kind of almost like a headless chicken in some ways because he has to cover 2 positions, if not 3, because fucking Havertz is sitting on his damn thumb. It's all falling apart because we're missing an engine in midfield. And that engine last season was Granit Xhaka. And it kills me to say that because I thought he was shit for the other 6 years. And he did fuck all but tell us to piss off as fans. And he came in last season with a real mindset to change things. And we made progress. And now here we fucking are again, back to where we belong in third or fourth, fifth place.
Right.
I don't top 4 is if we continue to play we will not get top 4.
Right.
Did you know?
I'm pissed, bro. Go on,
the problem has
Go.
Since we left since we left Highbury, we've won 5 FA Cups. Which, you know, I love the FA Cup. Don't get me wrong. I grew up a little kid. That's all we've won.
Right. Can I just say something?
The big problem was leaving Highbury, and let's put this right. Islington Town Council had given Arsenal Football Club permission to extend the ground into Highbury Hill, which is on the west side of the old Highbury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? But no, it was the new owners that decided they're moving to Ashburton Grove for us to compete with the world's best. Oh, yeah, everybody bought the dream. Oh. The Emirates is soulless compared to Highbury. I know you've got more fans. You've got more fans there, 68,000.
Or revenue.
But it's not the same because
the spirit isn't. Yeah.
The fans on top of them. You know, you could almost touch the players from the east and west stands.
Well, the ground makes a lot of it, the atmosphere and everything, doesn't it?
All ground, the city ground. You know, you've kept it pretty much as it was. and the atmosphere there when I used to go there back in time for Nottingham Forest games, you know, Arsenal, it was an amazing atmosphere. It's like going to Palace away today.
Yeah.
Or Everton away at Goodison. When Goodison moved to their new ground, right, if they're even in the Premier League, which maybe they won't be, it could ruin that club for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to say that is the problem with Arsenal Football Club, is the fact of poor leadership, poor management, and buying shit crap players for stupid money.
Yep.
Because we have clowns in charge.
Yeah.
Next season, when Vinay goes, Edu, you need to go with him, and Arteta, you need to be gone by Christmas.
Your manager's never cut his teeth. That's the problem that I see. But anyway,
go ahead. I think Wolf was going to say something too. I don't want to interrupt.
Well, I was just going to say one thing about the game, right? As a neutral.
Thanks for taking Havertz, lads.
Yes.
No. I'm not going to get onto that. Because I want to say something about the Arsenal game. Because one thing about it is, right, because obviously when you're a Spurs fan, you look at it because you come from 2-0 behind. You're going to look at it as a win. If you're looking at it as an Arsenal fan, because you've given away the lead twice, it's a defeat.
Right.
But one thing, let me just take 2 minutes to break this down. I was saying on Jez's show a couple of weeks ago when I was on there with Kenny Kent, and I said to him about the atmosphere at the Emirates. What is it like to actually watch this team play? And he said they always felt like they could collapse at any second to me. You can even go watch it on Jez's show on the replay, which I recommend you do because it was a good show. But I even believe I said this with Yeti and Jez on one of Yeti. Was it last week, Jez? Yes. When me and you and Jez were talking about how players back in the day, if they would have seen Kai Havertz trudging around the pitch the way he does,
they
would have grabbed him and killed him. He wouldn't have
him in the teeth.
Stuart Pearcey would have had Kai Havertz by his throat in the dressing. Tony Adams
Oh,
by his throat. Patrick Vieira by his throat.
Roy
John
Keane.
Terry, but Keane, like all these
Beat
sort of
the
hard
shit
score.
out of him.
Gerrard, Carragher, all these sort of players. But what I'm getting at is right, sticking to the game and not getting into the politics of football right now. Right, there were four actually things that stuck in my mind. Right, which I think everyone should take into account. Like Dale said, the Jesus chance, big chance. You have to score that.
Yeah,
the defender
definitely.
behind you has fallen over. You're 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper with all the time in the world, and you just balloon it off the pitch.
Yeah,
that you have to score that. Point 2, Vieira and Rice get injured, and they both come off, or Vieira wasn't preferred. Why not just bring on El Neni and Jorginho instead of El Neni and Kai Havertz? Because surely, Arteta, you're not that blind. Kai Havertz doesn't have any work rate.
He's blind. He's blind, bro.
He is blind.
Well, he has. Kai Havertz has no work rate defensively. At least either put Jorginho ESR or Jorginho like on Nenny, people that are at least gonna run. Now,
definitely,
I'm not going to include the ESR point as any of my points about bringing him on for 4 minutes, even though he did change the game in the 4 minutes. I'm not going to do it because everyone saw that, right? So I'm not going to bother wasting like people's time on that, right? The second thing, or the third, actually, technically speaking, would be Jorginho. You are a Champions League winner. You are second to last man. You see a guy running towards you. You take one touch. You take 2 touches. You still haven't got rid of the ball. Then you get tackled and then leave. Who was it? Gabriel 1-on-1? Sorry, 2-on-1.
I think it was.
And they just pass around him and Son finishes underneath him. Why? Oh, why are you trying to play out that way when you're second to last man? You do not make a mistake.
You just lump it, don't you?
Just get rid of it.
Yeah, just get rid.
It's not just concentration. It's footballing sense, Dale. If someone throws you something hot, you go and get rid of it, right?
Yeah,
definitely.
That applies to football.
If that was me, I would have touched that ball at the outside of my foot and squared that right back to
the
the
thing is, he has the option. He could just pass it back to Ray. Isn't that what Ray is there for? He's a ball-playing goalkeeper.
Right away.
As a professional, what are you doing? And you're a Champions League winner as well. I've seen Jorginho play better than that and not play like a donut. I remember when he played against Man City in the Champions League final. He never even came close to making mistakes like that. That was just, I don't know whether maybe he was deeper than he should have been, almost part of the back line, which maybe he was uncomfortable with, and hence the reason why. If he would have made that mistake further up the pitch, you know what I mean, it wouldn't have been as bad, you know what I mean? Maybe he's just that sort of thing. But the third thing I'd like to get on, right, and this is maybe where Arsenal fans, if they calm them down, they might see a bit of balance in. Eddie and Nketiah. He should have been sent off.
Yeah.
He should have been sent
100%.
off. Right?
100%.
As bad as it may feel, right? He should have been sent off with at least 20 minutes of that game left. And your midfield was getting overrun anyway. Right? At least Eddie tracked back a little bit.
Yeah.
Even if he did take people out when he did it, or even when he weren't tracking back, because what is he doing on the goalkeeper?
That's ridiculous.
You know what that is? I mentioned that on Tony's show, Wolf, and here's what I think it is. I think Jez will agree. Eddie's head is just gone. It's gone. He doesn't know how to play anymore. He doesn't know where to run. He doesn't know how to take direction.
You know what I'm saying? You don't even do that on FIFA.
Completely lost.
You don't even do that on FIFA. Like, what are you doing? Like,
he's upset because of his playing time. He's upset because, or lack of, and that all came to a head when he made that slide tackle. He could have broken that guy's leg 2 or 3 inches on the inside.
If I'm an Arsenal fan, mate, I want him to get suspended, so I don't have to watch him for the next 3 games.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. For 3 games, that helps us out.
But let me ask everyone one quick question.
Pure frustration. That tackle, pure frustration.
Yeah,
100%. Studs showing everything. Out of order.
Not just in that game, Jez, but I think for Eddie overall, I think it was the frustration of the game, and for Eddie overall not doing the job. And he knows he's not doing the job. Arteta knows he's not doing the job. We all see he's not doing the job. How you took Jesus off and kept him on is absolutely shambolic. And that is almost a firing offense, because it proves that you're not paying attention to the game. And like Wolf said, you're not in the game. You're not in the game, Arteta. You have a vision of what you want, but you don't have the balls or the intelligence, like you said, Jez, to make the necessary changes. Who the fuck would bring out Gabriel Jesus and let Eddie just stand in there? Are we coddling this player? I don't know where the future is with Eddie Nketiah. I know, though, it should not reside at Arsenal Football Club.
Well, let me ask everyone a question quickly.
It's not good enough. And I don't know how many times we have to say this.
To be honest.
Why is this message not traveling to the Arsenal faithful, getting Arteta's head, and realizing that, hey, we have major problems. Where's Enwari? Where's the reserve guy on reserve that's scoring goals for funny under the under 21s?
You must have some young'uns that can take.
We have 2 or 3 reserves that are fantastic players that we could slot in right now because of our injury crisis.
Dale, can I ask you one quick question?
Dozier, Dewberry are ready to play. Why we're not looking at these kids, I don't know. But that's a different topic. As of Sunday, it was I gotta get out of here, but it was a.
He's got to go in a minute.
All right. In the morning, bro. This is the football we get. This is what we get after last season. I'm fucking done. Peace, guys.
Yeah. Oh,
I didn't know you had to go.
Call out your stuff, Del. Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't know you had to go. Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he sent me a message private chat saying he's gonna have to zip it.
All right, I was only gonna ask him. Do you think
5 minutes, guys?
Well, Well, I was only
just got
to
do Newcastle, and then we can.
Well, I was only going to ask him, and I'll ask Jez, and I'll ask you as well. It's right. In that Arsenal game, was it truly Spurs were better in the second half, or did Arsenal get worse?
I'd say Arsenal.
And that's when I see Spurs fans celebrating. I was like, yes, they're still Spurs.
Yeah.
That's how you know, heart of hearts, they're still Spurs.
Yeah. Mind you, to be quiet, I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, I know I keep hearing, "Oh, you're that bad. You celebrate a draw." They haven't got anything off you at that ground for years and years and years. So in some ways, I don't actually blame them for doing that. That is quite a thing for them. You know what I mean? For them, it is anyway.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but you beat us at home, and you didn't celebrate that as much as what they celebrated a draw against Arsenal. And I'm not being funny. Forest and Chelsea have history as well. So,
we do.
And it's like man. There's context. There's context.
I just think because it was a derby, that's. But then again, they'll probably if they did it they'd probably celebrate like that. They are just wasters, aren't they? Really, if we just put it down to brass tacks. But anyway, we're going to go on to the last one, which is Newcastle, Sheffield United. I actually watched the game. I didn't watch all of it. I watched some of it, and Newcastle just turned it on and just absolutely smashed them. I think the first goal was by Gordon, was it, or was it Callum Wilson? I can't remember. But they just asserted dominance and went, you know what, you don't belong in the Premier League. See you later. And that was that, really. Jez, on to you, mate. I know you've got to go in a sec.
Yeah, I had it on. I had the volume off, but I was doing something else. But yeah, I mean, that was unbelievable. Unbelievable. I mean,
fantastic.
It's one of them games where just every single thing went right for Newcastle. Absolutely. They could do no wrong that day, and fair play to them. I love Newcastle United. I really do. I think they're a great club. Their fan base is amazing. And yeah, what a great result. Sheffield United, sorry boys, but you are just not Premier League. And I feel that you're going to have a bloody awful season.
You're going down.
But they'll probably beat Arsenal. Because that's what Arsenal do, you know. When we go up to their ground,
they fight hard. They fight hard. I will.
Yeah, I mean that's a lovely ground, Sheffield United's ground. Old school once again, but it'll be a difficult day out, that's for sure. And Arsenal will make it difficult because we have. I mean, we have to look at it. We have a bloody crap squad. We haven't got the depth which we've been talking about for 3 years now. And
10 out of 10 window though, Jez, apparently.
Not for me, it wasn't. I'll give it 4. I'll give it 4. We still haven't got that striker. You know, we still haven't got it. And That is going to cost us in the Premier League. It's going to cost us in the Champions League, because in the Champions League, I'm sorry, you've got to have a prolific striker, bit like Haaland, Harry Kane, some of that ilk type player that will bang you those goals. And we ain't got one.
Is Rice a long term, do you know?
Pardon?
Is Rice a long term with it being his back?
No, he should be back at the weekend.
I don't know. Oh,
that's what the word is.
We was talking Newcastle, weren't we?
Yeah, we were, yeah. We've always gone back to Arsenal at the end of every
we have, haven't we? Every single game I've done, whether it's Jazz or Dow, it's always gone back to Arsenal.
No, but I'm just like, it's Spurs. I fully get it, though. I fully get it. It's Spurs. I get it.
Yeah. What you've got to do is you've got to go to their place and you've got to slap them up. That's how you get it back, mate.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
But Newcastle were flying, though.
yeah, Newcastle again, yeah. So 8 goals, I mean, phenomenal. I mean, and really good goals as well, to be fair.
Yeah, they were. They were nicely
taken. Scorers, 8 different scorers.
Yeah.
That's got to be a record, isn't it?
And now it was. No, it was a record, and it equaled their Premier League record of winning 8-0 in 1999. The September 19th, with Newcastle all beating Sheffield Wednesday of all teams 8-0.
Nice.
So now they've done it to both. Sheffield Wednesday.
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
8 pot, literally in the corner pocket. Well done, Mama, if you're still there.
Excellent. There's only one in at the minute. If you want to shout your stuff out, Jez.
Oh yeah, sorry, mate. Arsenal History and More is my YouTube channel. On Insta,
Jez.
I don't do a lot of stuff on Insta, to be fair. Just have a chat with you guys and everything. I don't do reels and all that sort of stuff. It's not my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, and thanks for having me on once again, mate. And
no problem, mate. Anytime.
And I think Thursday you're jumping in with me with
Kenny, for a review of the week. A preview of the weekend. Sorry.
Yeah, that's the one. Lee might be jumping on with us as well.
That'd be cool.
And I think Warren's Team Talk might be coming in as well. So
nice one.
That'd be a fun show.
Yeah, nice one. I just want to say Oregon Goon. That's Dow's YouTube, because he didn't get a chance to shout it out. So make sure you go and follow Oregon Goon as well. And over to Wolf, shout yourself out. You're not there. You're there. Oh no.
I'm here. Yeah, Wolfgang Division. You can find me on YouTube. Just find my YouTube channel, like Jez. You can have a word with me on Insta if you feel like it. I got a show in about an hour or so. The Wolf's Den. I got the Fight Week show coming up, so that might be one for you to keep an eye out for. Yeah, actually, I know you like a bit of MMA.
Nice.
So, yeah,
I've got to catch up. I've only just watched the Adesanya one.
Well, believe it or not, news is something we're going to be covering. So if you want to jump on that and have a nat with us, man, because I'm looking forward to having Ola and Naz on there. We'll talk a bit about football, but we're going to talk a bit about MMA as well, because obviously we need to have a little bit of a balance for both of them being one.
Yeah, I'll leave it for tonight, mate. I'm going to chill for the rest of the night.
No, it will be in the chat.
Thanks, anyway. I'll definitely be in the chat. Right, so that's Wolfgang Fang. Wolfgang Fang Dang Wang Nang Nang. Wolfgang Wang Dang. I'm still doing it now. Wolfgang Division. So make sure you go on YouTube. Make sure you go and subscribe and like and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. I don't do this. Make sure you like and subscribe this channel as well. Take care of every spell. Every. I'm not even drinking, man. What the fuck is going on? This is
Yeti talk.
This is on tea. This is on tea, mate. I think it's the caffeine. Right. So we're going to head off on that one. Take care, everybody. Hope everyone enjoyed the football. I hope everyone enjoyed the chat and everything. And on to the next games. So catch you all later, guys. And take it easy. Thanks to everyone in the chat as well.
Bye, Mom.
Yeah. Bye, Mom. Bye, Dad.
Well, that's thank God.
I know who my dad is, so I'll change that. If
you ever see him.
No, I do. I'll get killed.
I'm not saying nothing.
Right.
I'm not saying
Okay,
anything.
so we're going to end it there. So take it easy, guys. Have a good night, and I'll see you all later. Yeti is out.